Hey guys, welcome to Stitching It. My name is Stephanie and I am in the midst of getting all my stitching plans ready for 2019. I thought it would be great to do another WIP Parade so that I would have an updated version and video of all the projects that I have to choose from in the coming year as I try not to start stuff. Some of these projects that you may have seen before, but I thought it would be nice to have them all together in one place so I can see the progress that I've made and what my goals are for the projects that I've showed. So first up is a project that I started last year for my birthday, and this is the companion piece to Let Heaven and Nature Sing. This piece is by Barrick and it's called Repeat the Sounding Joy, and this was one of the very first projects that I ever started on 36 count linen, I think, and this is on Picture This Plus linen by called Acorn, and I'm trying to work a little bit on this one over this holiday season, but I haven't really gotten back into it, but I love the design. This next one is not a cross stitch, but it's a counted canvas piece. My EGA chapter kind of left me in the dust, I feel like, and I have a lot of work to do, but I haven't worked on it in a couple months. This is called Ambrosia Honey, and I'm on the bee's wings, but I think there's an error in here somewhere and I'm going to have to frog all this out. So that's the biggest reason why I haven't worked on this, and also I like stepped on it and cracked the stretcher bars, and it really needs to be restrung in order to be really tight, and I need a new pair of stretcher bars. So that's my other excuse why I haven't worked on it, but I hope to get back to it pretty soon in the new year. This was my start from last year, January 1st. And maybe I can get back to it by January 1st again. I definitely like to see that one finished. And I haven't worked on any canvas work since I finished Follow My Heart, but this is definitely on my finish list, high priority. Put that over there. The next one is a long dog sampler. I have a couple of those, and this is on 22 count Hardanger with one strand. This is Life After Death, and I started it. You'll notice if you see a lot of the WIPs that I've been doing over the past year, I've really been experimenting with the smaller counts. So this is on 22 count Hardanger, but I'm not sure what I was thinking when I'm picking my own colors, but yeah, that's the progress on that. This one I don't have any plans for in the future, so today I'm trying to, as I go through this pile of WIPs, I'm trying to put important things in one pile and the not so important things in another pile, as far as what I'm going to finish. Okay. This is when I started, this past year I finished irises for my parents, and I had picked this one up to start for my parents again, and this is again some of that small stitching 1/1 on 28 count. This is called Bless Us by Lila's Studio, and I haven't worked on it too much since I started it, but that I really like the way 1/1 looks on 28 count even weave, so I like to see this one. I've got this in, it's still on a Q-snap, and I thought I would work on it some this fall, but I really haven't. Okay, this was the first reproduction sampler I got this year. That's something that I have been getting interested in, was more primitive looking stuff. This is from Just Stitching Along, and it is Lucy Calcutt. And this is another one I started on 36 count, and I've done a lot of border work on it. I'm using 2 strands, and that is one thing that that I'm sort of learning this year, especially trying to do 36 count, is when I want to use 1 strand and when I want to use 2 strands on that. It's really hard to choose whether you want to use 1 strand or 2 strand, especially with some of these primitive samplers. And I go back and forth about it. That is in that file. Okay, these were some of my Mania starts from this past year. This first one is the Time Traveler, and it's on fabric that I dyed myself. And I just got to start on her, but I'd like to get back to her pretty soon. But again, it's not a high priority one, so it hasn't been calling to me. But she's completely kitted up. This was another Mania start from this year, and I haven't gotten rid of it because I do like it, but again, it's not really high priority. This is a blackwork piece called Winnie's Music, and I've gotten a little bit done, and it's okay, and it's a small piece, so I think this would be really pretty to have in the house for a music lover. But you know, I tend to like these bigger, more serious pieces now, you know, nowadays. Plus, there's really no cross stitching in it. It's all, you know, black work and back stitching, so you have to be in a mood for that, I guess. This is another Mania start that I started in May, and it's a Mirabilia, and I've been working on her a little bit. Again, I try to stitch Mirabilia on Mondays, and I'm working on the bottom half of her, and yeah, there's a lot of blue and purple in it, but I like to finish a Mirabilia sometime, but they're just a lot of work. This is the last of my remaining Mania starts, and it's 4 elements, and I love this piece, and I specifically love the fabric that it's on. It's on more 36 count, and I'm doing this with 2 strands of Gentle Arts threads, and that's all I've got so far on that one. But it's on Whimsical Winter from Under the Sea Fabrics.
Hold it up again.
And I hope the gray, I love the gray and the blue tones in it. And again, this year has been the year that I stitched on 36 count. I'm thinking about giving this one to my sister, but I don't really know if she's that interested in it. So. Alright, this is a piece that I've shown before recently that I stitched on this summer, and I hopefully will return to it in the spring and the summer again, or at least I was thinking about it might be nice to stitch on for Valentine's Day. And this is my satin floss piece, and that's Alessandra Adelaide's Flower Lace Heart. Flower Lace Heart, yes, on 32 count. And I was enjoying that one a lot. Katrina Boyd hosts a stitching retreat in Marietta every year, so that was the last retreat that I got to go to, and I picked this piece out when I was there to start it, and it's Hands Across the Sea samplers, and it's my very first one and my only one, and this is Sarah Mary Larkworthy, and she is definitely difficult, I'll say that much. I got a piece of 40 count autumn linen from Under the Sea Fabrics while I was there, and the reason this is such a difficult piece, not only because it did get the 40 count, but it's full of eyelets, Algerian eyelets that I ended up making a mistake on, I think, this one right here, and went over 3 threads, so I have to take all these out before I can continue. Now we're getting into some projects that I've started this fall. And the first one I showed in my last update, which is unchanged, but this is the Mighty Acorn. The Mighty Acorn by Jeanette Douglas, and it's got a lot of Bargello around the edges and of specialty stitches in the middle, so it's very little actual cross stitch for this one, but that's definitely something that I've been trying to venture into, you know, is the specialty stitches and other types of embroidery. So I'll just show that again. Here in Georgia we have a Hawk Run Hollow stitch along group that I've been trying to get to, or at least participate in from afar when I can't. So this is a piece that I've been trying to start, and with varying degrees of problems, but Houses of Hawk Run Hollow. And let's see, I'm trying to think what the model was stitched on, but I started it originally. This is why I'm having problems, and I think I may have to restart it again, but I really want to do it and get a start on it. So this is what I've got. Listen, I originally started in the middle on block 6, okay, and this is, I had some more of this Whimsical Winter from Leslie's Fabrics, and I didn't think that I was gonna be able to fit the whole thing on a quarter yard piece of fabric. So wow, that's really neat. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, so I took it on 36 count 2/2, which I didn't like. It looked too bulky, it looked too weird, and I didn't want to waste the fabric and anything, so I turned it the other way, and I wanted to stitch it as a micro stitching. I started it doing, again, 1/1 on 36 count, okay? So this is the first block, and it's very, very teeny tiny. And it's doing tent stitch, and I've started the first block again, and I actually do like it, and I think there's enough room on it, room on the fabric. I'll still have to frog this but that was my crazy idea after I saw somebody had stitched his eyes on the Sparrow 40 count 1/1. I was just so impressed that I wanted to try something similar, like a micro stitching version. And this next piece again is on 36 count. Like if 2018 is hallmarked by anything for me, it's the year I'm trying to stitch on 36 count. Started all my 36 count projects. So this is a project that I started for one of my aunts who loves greyhounds, and asked me to stitch a portrait of a greyhound for her, and I'll try to insert a picture of that. But this is a kit that came from Yiyota's cross stitch on Etsy, and this is what I've got so far. And I swapped out the kit Ada for 36 count Picture This Plus Bramble, and so far it's coming out really good. You know, I'm doing it 2/2, and I'm having good luck, and I really like the details of this piece. And this is the top along here, so it's not full coverage, you know, square. It's full coverage, just the shape of the dog head, and I really like the way it's coming out, and I want to finish this next year if I can. So it's on the Q-Snap. If I was in the Sampler Guild of Georgia, which I would like to be, I just haven't joined it or can't really make it to the meetings, this next piece would be my journey piece for the year. And I'm going to take it off the Q-snap so I can show you guys. I'm not ironing it. And this is again on 36 count linen, but it's not on Zweigart linen. It's on some other type of linen, so it's extra wrinkly and soft. But this is his eyes on the Sparrow. And I've been doing pretty good on that. I've gotten quite a bit done. Wow, that's more than I thought. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good on that. Yeah, I don't know if I can actually finish this in 2019, but yeah, it's coming out fantastic. I love it on this color fabric. I'm doing it with 1 strand over 2, and so that's that I really like. This is the only piece that I had started so far that was just using 1 strand over 2, and yeah, it made me start another piece recently with 1 strand over 2 on 36 count, because I really like when you have the right colors on the right fabric, it comes out perfect, especially on some of the antique or reproduction style. Okay, this next one I've shown it before, and it's on pause probably till late winter, early spring. It's definitely going to be finished though, and that is Lindystitches, Birds to the Boughs, and this is on 32 count fabric. But I am more than halfway done, and it's completely finished up there at the top. I've got all the back stitching done and everything, so I'm just waiting until, you know, basically until the season comes back around. But I want to have this finished and in my bedroom next early 2019 if I can. Getting to the last couple of WIPs, my most recent starts. This was my birthday start from this year, and this was the kit that I got from Russia, and I finished the center motif and started on the next one on top, and this is going to have some big red birds that it's going to be really pretty. And but I think I've done all the work that I want to do on that for now. And my last start, like I said, you've seen my progress on his eyes on the Sparrow, and that's really what I've been trying to work on and spending most of my time on. And I loved it so much that I wanted to try out the 1 strand of DMC over 2 threads on 36 count on some Zweigart linen. So I got Barbara Anna's The Fall from Creative Poppy, and I'll show that to you. And I got to start on this, and this fabric is from a new fabric dyer called Hand Dyed Happiness, and she's based out of North Carolina. And this is a color called Honey, which is, I think it's just a warm, fantastic neutral for some antique style samplers, and I've just got a small start on that, but I've really been enjoying it. So I've been having a little bit of issues also holding up my Q-snap, and switching to a smaller Q-snap is definitely helping me being able to stitch on this 36 count. So that was a quick review of the pieces that I started in mostly in this past year in 2018, and a lot of the pieces that I'm planning to work on or at least choose from in 2019. I am a member of the Stitch from Stash group on Facebook, although I don't know if I'm going to keep track of it and try to do the actual program. It is my goal is just not to buy and start as much stuff as possible. You know, I definitely have a lot of nice projects to choose from, and when I laid out all my projects today, I felt like I was going shopping, you know, to a certain extent in my own things, you know what I mean? So, so that is what I definitely want to keep on working for next year. Hopefully I'll come up with a better system as the time comes on, but I was really glad to be able to make a video and put it all in one place so I can watch it back and see what's going on for next year. So I'm glad that you guys watched too. I'll have a couple more videos out before the end of the year, but happy holidays and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.